Hello and welcome. This is the Greenbrier Valley Church, your Nazarene, with your daily devotion for Tuesday, October the 12th. Today we are continuing reading in chapter 15 of Genesis. We will be reading verses 12 through 21. Here's the word of the Lord. As the sun was setting, Abram fell into a deep sleep, and a thick and dreadful darkness came over him. Then the Lord said to him, "Know for certain that for 400 years your descendants will be strangers in a country not their own, and that they will be enslaved and mistreated there. But I will punish the nation they serve as slaves, and afterward they will come out with great possessions. You, however, will go to your ancestors in peace and be buried at a good old age. In the fourth generation your descendants will come back here, for the sins of the Amorites have not yet reached its full measure." When the sun had set and darkness had fallen, a smoking firepot with a blazing torch appeared and passed between the pieces. On that day the Lord made a covenant with Abram and said, "To your descendants I give this land, from the Wadi of Egypt to the great river the Euphrates, the land of the Kenites, Kenizzites, Kadmonites, Hittites, Perizzites, Rephaites, Amorites, Canaanites, Gereshites, and Jebusites." And that is the word of the Lord. The article today by Christine Hung is a covenantal relationship. 400 years of slavery is hard to endure. Abram's descendants would learn this through a long narrative of suffer and oppression. God solidifies his covenantal relationship with Abram and his people through a ceremonial ritual that symbolizes his unilateral and unconditional love. This was a covenant that would extend later to anyone who would believe in him who raised Jesus our Lord from the dead. And that comes from Romans chapter 4, verse 24. It is significant that God, represented by the firepot, passes through the pieces alone, when in fact both parties traditionally were to pass through this ancient ritual of formalizing covenant. God alone would ensure that the covenant would remain intact. Human error would not impact God's commitment. Our unworthiness would not deter God's unfathomable love for us. This would undoubtedly be a great comfort to those enslaved and mistreated for many generations. God would not abandon them. God would not forsake them. God would remain faithful to his oath. There is an unmistakable warning here as well. We must examine our own hearts to discern whether we are mistreating others. God's judgment for those oppressing his people is certain. The hymn is "How Firm a Foundation" by John Rippon. "Fear not, I am with thee. O be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will still give thee aid." And from Isaiah chapter 1, verse 17. "Learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take up the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow." And this is your daily devotion for Tuesday, October the 12th. Have a blessed day.